Hello everybody, Storm here, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode, we were able to extricate Dr. Liara Tassoni from the Prothean security system that she activated to protect herself from the Geth, but got herself caught in it as well. And then we kind of had to quickly get out of there because the basically as a volcano that we were in began erupting, and we had to then fight our way through some Geth and a Krogan mercenary. Took those out pretty efficiently, and then got out of there. Got back to Normandy. Had a little conversation with Liara and the rest of the crew, and then began talking to the crew individually, which is kind of, what you typically do after a significant mission. Come back and then have chats with the crew. So we're still in our chat with the crew phase. We need to talk to Garrus and Ashley and Rex and then Telly in the back there. Alright, I already kind of talked to the Alliance Requisition Officer. I actually bought a new armor. So I have a new set of armor. Pretty nice. But let's go ahead and start things off with Garrus, and let's see what his thoughts are.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Oh, really?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
True.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
That's why?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Don't worry about it.
You did the right thing. Life's too short to sit around waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Sounds good.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Alright. Yeah, these are still like first conversations. Alright, let's talk to Rex.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
I guess we'll ask about you.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Just a short one?
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Yeah?
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It isn't?
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Not exactly.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Okay.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Alright, I guess we'll ask about the genophage.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Huh?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Alright, we'll ask about extinction.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Okay.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright, so we get the story of the Krogan there. I guess we'll talk with Ashley here.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
Sure.
Is this duty-related, Chief?
No, sir. Well, maybe. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Because they're aliens?
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
I can't confine them.
I'm not gonna lock them in the sleeper pods for the whole trip, Williams.
I'd be more comfortable if they didn't have access to engineering and the CIC. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
By mistrusting allies?
How do you get from relying on ourselves to mistreating our allies?
I don't mean we should mistreat them, Commander. I just think we should be prepared to go it without them. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
Not necessarily. I guess we'll go, well...
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
You sound like one of those Terra Firma party pamphlets, Chief.
Terra Firma is a pack of jackals. The founders had ideals. These days they just play off xenophobia and bigotry. I hope my reasons are more rational. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
Well, you're gonna have to work with them. Actually, I'm gonna ask about her family.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
Yep.
I'm here to put hypervelocity rounds through the heads of bad guys.
Most satisfying part of the job, Commander.
Alright, I want to ask about her service.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
Stuck groundside, eh?
Guess you make a habit of second-guessing your superiors.
No, sir.
That isn't exactly what I was expecting to say. Well, you're gonna have to work with the aliens.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Good.
I'm glad there won't be a problem.
Anything else you need, Commander?
Alright, I think that'll be it for now.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Alright, we got some EXP for that. And then let's go ahead and head on to engineering. I think we have a talk with Adams, the engineer.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Telly? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Indeed.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Alright, let's go ahead and ask about the Normandy itself.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Oh?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Alright, we'll ask about the ship's cell systems, because I don't think we have an explanation of that yet.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation, too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Interesting.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Very nice. Let's ask about him.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Alright.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
And then let's chat with Telly.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Well, this is a special ship.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I guess she likes ships.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
Impressive.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I guess we'll go ahead and ask about the pilgrimage, because we didn't before.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value, we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
It sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Do they always accept the gift?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Okay, we'll talk about something else.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
We'll ask about the Quarians in general, I guess.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
A conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
Okay, so it's democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Okay, and then we'll ask about the Geth, since we'll be fighting them a lot.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Alright, well, let's talk about it.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
And I guess that is illegal.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Neural network?
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Okay. Well, why did they turn on you?
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Why?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Well, what did you expect?
You didn't really think they'd just let you destroy them without a fight, did you?
The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Well, it sounds like they were defending themselves.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Well, not everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Alright, well, I think that's probably everything we're going to get on that.
I should go.
See you later.
But we're going to learn a lot more about that over the course of the 3 games. Alright, I think that's everybody. So, we need to decide what we're going to do next. I don't necessarily want to start hitting the main missions just yet. There are a few things that we can do here. Missing survey team, Hades Gamma. cluster. We need to head back to the Citadel Tower to talk to Admiral Kahoku. We also need to head back to the Citadel to talk to Nasana Dantius, whose sister we found and killed. But I think we're going to do this. Eliminate crime lords. 2 crime lords located in the Han system of the Gemini Sigma cluster and the Dis system of the Hades Gamma cluster. Eliminate both of them. Hades Gamma and Gemini Sigma. Okay. Because then that'll be another thing that we need to go back to the Citadel for, so we can have some more to do at the Citadel when we do go back. Alright. Gemini Sigma and Hades Gamma. Alright. There's the Hades Gamma. So let's head there. What? The Dis system. Alright, let's see what we got. We can survey that for some titanium. And there we go. Glensaw is a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its first geological surveys were performed by Batarians. Suggested areas of great mineral wealth. Let's see. Let's go ahead and land, and let's start looking. Who are we going to take? I want Telly for her technical capabilities. And I guess I can bring Rex. We haven't brought him on much yet, so let's go ahead and accept. Alright, what do we got? We've got a Syndicate Hideout. We've got an anomaly. Another anomaly. And some debris. So I guess the Syndicate Hideout is our first... is going to be our first... destination. The terrain here doesn't look too bad. We have a mineral deposit here as well, right there. Platinum. I guess we'll go ahead and grab it. It's probably some EXP. Yep, it is. And some cash. Quite a bit of cash. Ooh. 3 for 1. Alright, anybody else? Nope. Alright, let's see what we're up against in here. Let me go ahead and just do a quick save, just in case.
Enemy sighted.
Go, go, go! Hold the line! Go, go, go! Hold the line! I'm on it!
Just what do you think you're doing?
Enemy is everywhere!
Alright, shoot, that guy took some pepper.
Enemy is everywhere!
Lost shield.
Enemy is everywhere!
Okay, let me recharge my shields. Let's get Telly back up and kicking. Get her healed up. Alright, there we go. Alright, that guy's down. We need a better spot for cover.
I've lost shields! Enemy is everywhere!
Grenade.
Bring it on.
Alright, that guy's down.
Enemy is everywhere!
Alright. I think that's all of them. Seems so. Nope.
Go, go, go! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
Alright, get my barrier up. Where are you?
Shield. Now it gets fun.
Go, go, go! I've lost shields!
Come on, stay still. Alright, Crime Lord defeated. Helena was right, these guys had quite the operation going, but that's all going to change. One down, just one more to go. That guy just would not stand still. So armor piercing and chemical rounds. Excellent. Well, let's completely explore the area. Okay, nothing really there. And what about you? An aid station. I guess we'll go ahead and grab that. Secure weapons locker description skill too low. This one's easy. Let's see. There we go. Striker, Edge, and Reaper. 2 pistols. I'll have to see. Another pistol, shotgun, and an assault rifle. Alright. Well. Seems pretty decent. I think with that, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. And we'll probably finish off exploring this planet, because there's a couple other anomalies we need to check out. And then move on. Well, we'll probably explore the rest of this cluster, and then move on to the next Crime Lord location. And then we'll probably end up taking a trip back to the Citadel to advance a few of the quests. Alright, so for now, we'll stop here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.